pretty soon, and there it is. We're live. Hey, Internet friends, this is Magic Brad's Synergy Cafe, and we're doing another hangout here, and I'm actually interviewing someone from on the other side of the planet, almost 12 hours difference. I think it's 12 hours difference, and her name is Catherine. Is it Catherine or Catherine?
Catherine. It's just Catherine. I do say Catherine Louise Birmingham, but just Catherine is good. Yeah.
Catherine Louise Birmingham. That could take up this whole interview. We'll just call you Catherine.
Good. Yeah.
So Catherine, what I do is I ask a few questions of who, what, where, when, how, and why, and we'll start off with the who. Who are you, Catherine?
Catherine, that's who I am. My name is Catherine Louise Birmingham. If you're asking for where at the moment, I'm living in Jakarta in Indonesia.
Okay, and your background and just tell us a little about you.
Okay, I am predominantly a horse trainer, and that's what I grew up loving and was very passionate about. But it's very quickly morphed into me coaching and teaching a lot, and basically going through a lot of things myself in my own life, that realizing that the principles of riding and how I was coaching the horses were exactly the same principles that I was needing and learning about life. So my riding turned into me teaching about life through horse riding.
Wow.
So
that sort of goes into the next question of the what. It's which what it is you do, and it sounds like the horse. Are you familiar with the book It's Not About the Horse?
No, I'm sorry, I haven't heard of this book.
There's a book over here that coaches use to give to people when they get to when they can't figure things out, and it's from a guy over on the west side of the United States that has a retreat center where he uses horses to teach people how to get through their blocks and things, because the horse kind of has a different sense, a sixth sense of how things work. So you have to look that book up. It's Not About the Horse, I believe. So that's what you do, is you coach people how to work with horses, or you use the...
I'm predominantly a dressage rider. So in the equestrian world and the sport of things, I do mainly classical German dressage. And that's where I was trained. I lived in Germany when I was very young, and that's where I've done most of my training and learning about the German dressage training. What I then apply to is I've noticed that when I'm teaching just normal classical training of German dressage, is people's situations that are going on within themselves that may be connected to other areas of their life start to surface. And what they're needing to learn, and this is something you'll connect with very well, it's the same self-mastery that you require in martial arts. It's the same self-mastery you require in high-level dressage. So in order to create this harmonic communication between horse and rider in that sport of dressage, you have to do a lot of self-work. And the higher the levels you go, the more you have to start moving past your ego, and you have to move into a more aware state. And that's what I love about it. So in aspect of what I'm doing, it's helping people learn more about themselves when they're training in dressage.
Wow, that stuff's fascinating. There's a friend of mine in Minneapolis that teaches golf to CEOs, and that's kind of what he does, is he helps them with their golf game, but it's really working on their mindset, kind of psyche stuff. Fascinating. So the next question is where? Where do you do this? Do you do this, I mean, you're in Jakarta now, do you do this kind of coaching and things via Skype or online, or do you have a studio or a ranch or something that you do the coaching at?
I did once have a training stable set up in Australia, and for me it didn't work out. So I decided to travel again. So I basically base myself from other people's properties around the world, where I spend time there, where I'm a main coach there, and so I get to spend time coaching and working with their horses at that stable and also with their riders. I do travel a lot for clinics, so I will travel, at the moment it's in between Singapore, Jakarta, Brisbane and Melbourne. Next year I'll be looking at doing Germany with a friend of mine and be doing some seminars over there. But I travel for clinics, which is one-on-one coaching and training with horse and rider. But I also have started doing seminars. So it's on the subject of enlightened riding, and it's exactly what I was talking about before, that understanding more about yourself, the spiritual aspect of classical German dressage. So I travel worldwide with this.
So your ideal client, is it riders? Is that who it is that you do work with?
When it comes to riding, yes, I need a rider. But when it comes to, say, for example, the seminar or my books or the things I write about, it's for anybody. It doesn't have to be anybody that has even seen a horse in their life, because it's always correlated. It's always this connection between the horse. You can pretend the horse is a situation in your life. So wherever I'm speaking about an aspect about how you're approaching the horse or what feedback you're getting from the horse, it's exactly the same as a situation in your life. It's
okay,
that mirroring.
I get it. I know that you're in Jakarta now, and that's close to Bali, and I went bike riding.
Oh, no.
In Bali with a friend down this narrow path. There's rice paddies. On the other side, there's a 20-foot drop, and I'm scared, and I'm in the zone, and then I'm out of the zone, and I fall down. Luckily, I fell in the rice paddies and not over the cliff. So I think that's kind of what you're saying, is being able to relate to the horse or relate to a situation in your life so that you're in harmony with it. Is that true?
Yeah. But I mean, sometimes we need those falls in order to understand how to stay on. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's part of the training, yes. You get off, fall, and you get back up.
Yeah.
Oops. So when do you do this? Do you have like regular office hours? Is there such thing as like night riding or something like that, or is it spontaneous?
No, generally here in the stables here at Atayasa Stables in Jakarta, I will work between 6-7 horses a day. So I start out in the morning, usually about 8 o'clock, work 4 or 5 horses in the morning, and then there's lunch, there's a break, and then I'll come out in the afternoon and work a few more. At the same time, this is 5 days a week, and 3 days of the week I then get booked in for one-on-one training sessions or lessons. That they're called, where people come with either their horse or on a school horse, and I'll teach them in that scenario. So yes, it is a job as such, yeah. And then I spend a couple of days of the week writing, yeah.
Okay, well, that comes to my favorite question. That's this last question, and it's the big why question. Catherine, why is it that you do this and you're not like a race car driver or an Olympic athlete or a barista at a Starbucks? Why do you do this?
Because it was what everything I knew within me and everything that was happening around me was pointing me in the direction that I knew I needed to do. So even though I was going against the grain of what my profession wanted me to do, Olympics, competing, going in that direction of things, everything in my heart and my soul and my mind and my body was telling me I needed to go down the spiritual path. And that's what I've done. And that's why. Because it was in me since a young child, and I would not be happy doing anything else or doing it in any other way.
Following your spirit. That's what a lot of people end up doing. They, I mean, when I first got out of high school, I used to do magic as a kid, and I was doing magic and performing. And then when I graduated from high school, everybody told me, "Go get a job," and I did it. I went and got a job, and it didn't last very long because I wasn't following, what my true passion and spirit was asking. They asked me to go get a job with the county parks and rec department, and I did it. It didn't last. We got a little bit of a delay here because you're over on the other side of the planet. It's PM for you and AM for us. Right now it's 8:56 AM. Is it almost 9 o'clock there?
No, it's almost 8 PM here.
Okay, so we're not quite 12-hour difference. Depends on how you look at it. Okay, well that's the basis of the interview, but I'd like to know a little bit more about, do you have anything going on over to the United States perhaps?
Not yet. I am interested in going there. At the moment, there's been a couple of questions of me going there, so I think maybe next year it might be on the plate of heading out there. Mainly with probably the seminars. I do have Ride for Life, my book, that will soon be with Amazon.com that can get it, and I'll be launching my next book I've written, which is called Just For You. That will be coming on Amazon.com this year, as soon as I do the final touches, the last things. Yeah.
It would be fun to do an interview later about your book. Maybe I'm not sure what format that would take, but it would be kind of like a book interview. That would be to learn more about what the books are about. So we'd
love to do that.
Do that down the road. That'd be fun.
Yes.
Okay. Well.
Wonderful.
Well, if you could, after we're done with this, if you could provide me with links to your website and links to your Amazon book or whatever, and I can put those onto the blog post and get them out to the internet. And if you do have an interest in coming over to the United States, I can do some hashtagging and special keywords and stuff that use some of the words that maybe somebody will hear this and go, we should bring her over here for our seminar. Maybe?
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much, Brad. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Okay, you want to stay on for a little bit? So this is Magic Brad signing off for Synergy Cafe and Catherine Louise Birmingham. Thank you very much, Catherine, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you.